dive into your early beginnings of music, but since we're on the topic of Heatwave, you replaced a legend who just passed away recently, Rod Temperton, who we know him through Quincy Jones's right-hand keyboard man, Michael Jackson, all the production. And there you are playing the music that he had a big hand in. And, you know, you're a great musician. And how did this happen? 1999, and you've been going strong
Well,
since.
first of all, I appreciate you mentioning Rod Temperton, and I love all the things he wrote. He wrote Thriller, he wrote Rock With You, he wrote Off the Wall, he wrote Give Me the Night for George Benson,
Wow.
and I Will Be There for Quincy. Well, for Quincy Jones. Um, but as you probably know, after he wrote Thriller and worked with Quincy Jones, he had bigger things to move on to, so there was an opening. But how I got in is I played in a band in Washington D.C. area with Pete Jordan, their sax player,
Okay.
and Keith Wilder, the original singer, moved to the DMV area in Springfield, Virginia, which was a few miles away. So basically, Pete got me into the band. After what happened was they were flying the people from England out here. Alarm! It's my time for an interview. Anyway,
Oh.
anyway, it was cheaper to not fly the people from England over here, so they sort of have their own version of Heatwave in England that does pretty much UK dates, and we do pretty much American dates. And that started when I started with them in 1999. Although I was with a lot of the original members that live in England when I first
Right.
started. So they kind of like combined them and mixed and matched them, when I was with them. So I could say I played with a lot of the original members.
Yeah.
For
And I
26
think
years.
Keith did a gig. Was it how many years ago that his last gig? 2017.
That's about right. Yeah. I
Yeah.
mean, but yeah, he had two strokes and was able to still perform for 5 years later. And of course, I miss him dearly. But it was fun working with. I mean, as I say, it's the tunes I grew up with, and I love Rob Temperton's uh, writing, and more importantly, he was a jazz keyboard player, which I am. So I feel like an
Right.
affinity toward him because he could solo and he knew all the theory, and you can tell just from the way he phrased a lot of the horn lines and everything else that he was jazz influenced. And of course, what's cool about Heatwave is since he wrote all the tunes, there's a big prominent keyboard solo in all their hits. Boogie Nights and Groove Line will have like that
Right.
keyboard solo. So even if I don't get like a spotlight, I still get to do a solo in front of people, and that's like a keyboard player's dream.
Yeah.
Basically Heatwave is like the best gig for a keyboard player. So
Wow.
I love it. And it doesn't get old, especially the music doesn't get old, and I love the band. And like a lot of other bands, we're all family and we're all friends. I mean, we'll we'll text each other and just chat. And a lot of
Right.
bands, especially '70s bands, don't have that,
Mhm.
but
Yeah.
it's fun to do, and it's good people to be with.